And you know, at the end of the day, I am the best content creator. Like, I just am. And people need to accept that. Lead to more views in the community, and like, I don't know, there has to also be some fall off where if you're causing drama in the community and fighting, some people just don't want to be part of the community and watch anyone because they're like, fuck these guys, they're all babies, and they don't want to hear about that.
Well, I mean, they are fucking babies though, right? Well, okay, they're not Minecrafters. What I mean is they are children, not that they're, you know, the other one. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people in this community that are quite simply, for lack of a better term, they are children. If you have a mental breakdown because you're called a mint picker, you're a child. It's the same thing if I were to cry when somebody would call me bald. It's just, you have to grow a backbone, because if you don't grow a backbone, then you're fucked in this space. The internet is not a nice fucking place. It's not gonna pretend to be. It's not even gonna hint that it is. It's just a brutal fucking place. And when people sense your weakness, they're gonna go after it. Imagine how many of my past traumas people bring up on a day-to-day and attempt to get at me. But do you see me cry about it? Do you see me whine about it? Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why? Because I take those same videos, then I monetize them for views, and I get money. And I'll be real, if somebody gave me $100 to stop crying, I'd take it. It is what it is. Listen, man, there's two type of people. There's baby ragers, and there's tars. And you can decide who you want to be. So you choose. Are you a baby rager, or are you going to grow the fuck up and be a tar? It's completely up to you. It's a cold fucking world, and we all know it. I mean, I'll be real, guys. I mean, people get shut up in Walmart on the fucking daily. It's a cold fucking world. It's up to you to make it comfortable. It's nobody else's job. It is nobody else's job.
So maybe everyone's views go down because it's not a nice place to be. Where in Destiny, especially Destiny 1, not so much Destiny 2, but in Destiny 1, we were all raiding each other and playing with each other and sending our viewers and shouting each other out, and everyone just kind of grew as a community. And
that is happening. That exact thing that he's saying is already happening in this community. That's happening between me, Fob, Box, Hokey, Shinya, Hexjuice, V, Hink, Laro. It's happening everywhere. Like, the WuWa community support has been fantastic. We had, EO, we had a community event which had over 35,000 views across all channels, right? And just to give an example, because I really don't know why MTASHED is even saying this, right? Like, all you have to do is just interact, right? But the problem is that people want to virtue signal and act like I'm this big bad boogeyman. But if you just look, right, in one stream that Maddie did, she gained 2.2 thousand fucking follows, right? Because we're sharing the love. This is already things that are already happening. Once again, now, he might be talking about old Genshin, but currently in Wuthering Waves, like, shit's really good. Shit's really, really, really fucking good. Now, it might not be good for certain individuals, but that's because those certain individuals fucked up and are too afraid to fucking apologize. I'll be real, I made a video today of me apologizing for the dumbass shit that I did. And I also made a video saying that if you fucked up, I'm also willing to forgive you. But the problem is these people's egos are too big just to say that fucking word. Proof? Okay, I'll pull it up. I made a video today. I have made many mistakes in the past, and I'm not afraid to admit them. Obviously, the ability to admit when you make a mistake is incredibly important when it's actually a mistake. What's even more important is the ability to not apologize when someone makes you think that you've made a mistake that you know you didn't do. Because if you apologize for something that's not wrong, then you're gonna make other people be led down that same path of apologizing for doing something that was actually good, that people have convinced them is bad. It's the same thing with Valkyrie. She should have never apologized for saying no cap on a stack for real, for real. Sorry, guys. You shouldn't. Why the fuck would you apologize for that? That's just not how it goes. And when these douchebag dumb fucks apologize for that shit, it makes the entire space worse. It does. And I know everybody right now is fighting to be who's the most right. I'm sorry. It is no longer about who's right. It's only about who's justified. That's the only thing that matters. You can have two people have differing viewpoints and them both be justified. And that's why it's much more healthy to be justified rather than fighting to be right. And what I mean by that is, if you can defend your viewpoint with a line of logic that explains on how you got there, that is disprovable, that isn't disprovable provable, then you're justified in your stance. And that's the only thing that matters. It's the same thing with Hex Juice. And let me give you an example of a very long phone call that me and Hex Juice had the other day. And that's why I really enjoy this part. Me and Hex Juice were talking about Sentontas. If you're not familiar with Sentontas, Sentontas was the dude who made the video who was either making a declaration or making a theory on whether the VAs were contracted by Hoyo and couldn't go to other businesses or not. I believe it was a theory. She believed it was a declaration. I heard her logic on how she got to that. She heard my logic on how I got to that. And we both understood we don't have to pivot from our points. And we both understand how we both got there and why. And it's fine. And that's it. And that's all that matters.
It was just this huge thing. People would be watching 2 or 3 streamers at the same time.
And at the same point, MTASH, right? Now, once again, this really isn't about MTASH. This is about people's misconception of the community right now, because for Wuthering Waves, it's actually very fucking good. For the exact same thing, for my Wuthering Waves tournament, which I believe was this one, with my Wuthering Waves tournament, which did very fucking well. In the title, every single creator was tagged in it, and we even used the feature of Stream Together, which allowed their perspectives to be viewed at a click of a button, and multiple people had multiple perspectives up. So everything that MTASH wants from this community is already happening, right? Now, I understand one thing, and this is something that's very apparent. And once again, MTASH has already reached out to me. MTASH has already reached out to me, and he said he would love to host one of these tournaments. And by the way, MTASH, I love you to bits. Once again, I do. No matter what you ever do, I'm always gonna appreciate you, dog, because you helped me a lot grow as a person, grow as a creator. I'm incredibly grateful for you, man. And I understand you might not have the greatest opinion of me, and that's okay. I understand. But I will admit, and I'll just say it, right now the space is pretty rough for people who have a problem with me, because the space was rough for me for all these people who had a problem with me. But now it's completely reversed, because for 2 years, all of these people had an issue for me, and it made it very difficult on me, guys. It did. I can show this with actual numbers. You guys know I'm a streamer before I'm a YouTuber. So let's pull it up, because right now I'm doing the best I've ever done. Right now I'm doing the best I've ever done. But for these 2 years, man, I mean, the drop off was fucking insane. And we had some random peaks here and there at Tower Fantasy, but that was short lived. But the drop off was really fucking bad. But slowly, I earned all that shit back up over the course of 2 years. Did you hear me bitch about it? Probably, but you also saw me fucking grind for it. And that's very important to understand the difference. Those 2 years were fucking brutal, and the drop off was substantial. And you can see the exact moment everything dropped off, but it is what it is. I can sit there and bitch and moan and blame everybody else but me, and I did. But I also grinded really fucking hard to get back up to it. And I also acknowledge where my faults were, and you can probably see the difference in myself, my persona, my friends outside the space, and the way I deliver my content. I changed everything, and I attempted to grow a lot as a person. Now, hopefully we can let that shit bygones be bygones, because we all make mistakes, and we all grow as people. And when you see that with words and actions, hopefully you believe them rather than fighting them and holding on to the fucking past. Hopefully that makes sense, right?
And watching both of our points of view playing the same thing, and like they I don't know, it was so fucking different. It was like a different world.
I really don't know what MTASH is talking about. I feel like the community for WuWa right now is so fucking good. I even think the Honkai Star Rail community is great. Once again, are you agreeing with him? Like, do you agree the community feels very fragmented, or like, I don't want to say anything. Like, how do you feel right now? Type 1 if you think the community is good. Type 2 if you think the community is bad. I see a lot of 1s. I'll be real, I maybe saw a couple 2s, but I agree that the Genshin community has blown the fuck up. It's over there. All those motherfuckers hate each other because they surround themselves with businessmen, and they surround themselves with people who want to advance their careers rather than actually give a fuck about each other. I feel like the community's pretty whole over here, man. I feel like it's pretty good.
Whole different place.
I mean, fuck, even Brax flew out here so we could hang out. Plus, like, me and MTASH, we chilled in the call the other day. We played League of Legends. It was a great fucking time. What I actually really think it is I think MTASH looks back at his past with rose-colored glasses, and I think the thing is that he's just becoming a dad. And I think that's okay. And I feel like he's feeling a little bit left out because he doesn't have enough time to interact, plan events, and push content. And I think this is just a normal thing. I don't think he's burnt out. I think he's just having a family. That's all I think it is.
This game never had that vibe. It was always very me versus you versus you versus you.
That's just demonstrably false. I feel like that is just a pure doomer take. Like, I mean, I can't think of any Wuthering Waves drama. I mean, because now he said in this game, I mean, I feel like the only thing that's happened was Gotcha Smack versus 1010, and then I also talked to 1010. And I'm once again, I want to make this very clear. I'm gonna say something that you guys think is not true. 1010 quite literally said he was not talking about Gotcha Smack. He was talking about the CN drama, and I humored him for a little bit, and then I realized they literally had the same title. Nah, so it was definitely some beef there. It was definitely some beef there, 1,000,000%. But it is what it is. And that's it. Like, who cares? A couple of guide makers say, nah, you're wrong. Nah, you're wrong. Who cares? Let them talk. Because discussions and disagreements are how people get to a better understanding. So I think they're fine, personally.
And you know, at the end of the day, I am the best content creator.
Huh?
Like, I just am. And people need to accept that. The issue is I can't stream as much because I have to have so much sex with my wife that, like, I can't be online.
Hey, guys. I'll be real. What would you rather do? Have sex with the girl on occasion or be the #1 streamer on the planet? What would you rather do? Me personally, why the fuck would I want to have sex with a girl when I can just jerk off to Yinlin right here? Who cares? Who cares about having sex? Straight up. Ew. Then you gotta shower afterwards? Nah, I'm good, bro. I'd rather just crank my hog real quick.
And so that's everyone else's time to shine. That's everyone else's opportunity to shine. When I'm busy, you know, plowing my wife. Or else I would have all the viewers. You know?
Yeah. I feel like the community's in a great spot. Maybe he's just having a bad day. Maybe he's just being a little bit pessimistic. Who knows? Leave a comment. Peace.